My name is Eve. I was born and raised in New York City, surrounded by the chaos of towering skyscrapers and bustling streets. It's a city full of people, yet it can feel incredibly lonely. I grew up in a Catholic family, attending church and saying prayers, but there was always this emptiness inside me, something I couldn't quite put into words. I believed in God, but my connection to Him felt distant, like I was searching for something I couldn't define. When I started college, everything changed. Philosophy classes introduced me to debates about faith and religion. I met atheists, agnostics, Buddhists, people from every belief system imaginable. These conversations not only opened my eyes but also sparked a question within me. What if everything I thought I knew about God was incomplete? What if there's more to discover? One day, while studying in the campus library, I noticed a group of students at the table next to mine. One of them was a woman wearing a hijab, speaking softly but passionately. A single sentence caught my attention. Surrendering to God is the key to peace and tranquility. Something inside me stirred. It was as if I had heard these words before but never truly listened. Summoning my courage, I walked over to them. "What are you talking about?" I asked. One of them replied, "We're discussing Islam, how submitting to God gives life meaning and purpose." I'd never had a deep conversation with a Muslim before. Growing up, my perception of Islam was shaped by stereotypes from the media, but these people were nothing like that. They were kind, peaceful, and sincere. Their words resonated with me in ways I couldn't ignore. They invited me to an event on campus that evening, a talk titled, "The Meaning of Life and the Concept of God in Islam." I decided to go, and that decision changed my life. As I sat in the audience, the speaker described God's infinite mercy and how He is always close to us, watching over us. Tears welled up in my eyes. It felt like they were speaking directly to my heart, describing the very thing I had been yearning for but didn't know how to find. After that night, I started researching Islam on my own. I borrowed a copy of the Quran and began reading it. The first verse that struck me was, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Quran 13:28. That verse shook me to my core. Rest and peace. That's what I had been searching for my entire life. I learned about prayer, fasting, and other Islamic practices. They didn't feel like obligations to me, but rather pathways to connect with God. Yet, I was still scared. How would my family react? My friends? A Catholic girl embracing Islam. It wasn't exactly the norm. One day, I confided in my Muslim friends about my fears. They listened patiently, and one of them said something that stayed with me. God has already guided you to this path. If He placed this feeling in your heart, He won't leave you. All you need to do is trust Him. Those words gave me the courage I needed. I decided to take the leap of faith. On a Friday afternoon, I went to a small mosque near campus to say my Shahada. My hands were trembling, and my heart was racing as I repeated the words. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. When I finished, it felt like a weight had been lifted from my soul. The emptiness I'd carried for so long was replaced with an overwhelming sense of peace. For the first time in my life, I felt whole. Telling my family wasn't easy. At first, they were confused and even upset. But over time, they saw how much peace and happiness Islam brought me. My mom eventually said, "If this makes you happy, then we're happy for you." Some friends supported me, while others drifted away. It was painful, but my connection to God became my anchor. Looking back, I never imagined finding God in a city like New York, where distractions are endless. But I've realized that when you truly search for Him, He makes Himself known, no matter where you are. Islam gave me direction, meaning, and a sense of inner peace that I didn't know was possible. Now, I share my story with the hope that it inspires others. If you're searching for God, don't give up. He's closer than you think, waiting for you to find him.